That's it. Yep. A little bit for me old girl, hey? Now, so what we've ended up with here is a Joe Cottam built Rolls-Royce Meteor, 27 litre, 1,650 cubic inches. It's quite an honour to have this motor. Joe Cottam is a master Rolls-Royce engine builder and champion tractor pull legend. This motor has actually won 5 national titles in a row. He retired this engine because he built a 3,800 horsepower version of this engine. This is a 2,200 horse twin turbo Rolls-Royce Meteor. This isn't the actual turbo, that's just dummied up. My mates at Canara said lent me a turbo just for the barbecue tomorrow. They're actually quite bigger, quite a lot bigger. But this is a heavily developed engine. There's a lot of mods done. It's got a quad overhead cam setup. The reason why quad overhead cams, a lot more boost, or this engine never came out with boost. So a lot of boost, a lot of pressure on the back of the valves, high revving, valve float. So to cancel that out, you had to put harder valve springs in. And because of the harder valve springs, a single overhead cam fingers were wearing out with the high pressures. So now it's got quad overhead cams, one over each set of valves, directly working on top of the valve, so there's no massive wear and leverage on like rockers. The cams are handmade and hand ground. All the gears are hand cut. Joe is a master gear cutter and engineer. So there's only 2 engines in Australia like this. I know some dudes in Europe have done quad cam Meteors, but Joe has done 2 of them, and this is one of them, and the other one's a little bit different to this. So really it's the only one like it, but 2 Joe Cottam quad overhead cameras. It runs on, I won't say what injection yet because we haven't been hooked up yet, but it runs on electronic injection, direct port. So this has got a Merlin intake manifold here, and it runs a direct port. Injectors would go where these little spaces are. Direct port EFI. They've actually used a Merlin throttle body off the base of the carburetor. Of the SU carburetor. There are a few Merlin bits, there's Merlin rods in it. That makes 500 more horsepower than a Merlin. Merlin makes about 1,700 horse. This makes 2 with 3,300 foot-pounds of torque. So I win. I really wanted it to be a Merlin. I didn't want it to be a Meteor, but when this came up, it's such a significant piece of Australian motor building and tractor pull history, I couldn't pass it up. And he really looked after me. This motor was never for sale. He just liked my story. Dave from Denny tried to get this motor off Joe for me at the very beginning, and he would not budge. But in the end, he rang me and offered it to me, and mate, a week later I was up there and bringing it back on Lily's truck. Are you sure it's going to fit, Gonz? Of course it's going to fit. It's what I do. I make things fit.